Chapter 3. "Sweetheart," I called as I made my way up the steps. I peered into the living room, but she wasn't there. The kitchen lights were on. 2 takeout boxes were on the counter. The lids hot to the touch. She must have just gotten home. "Alex!" I went into the second-floor home office, but the lights were out. "Alexis!" Light streamed into the hallway from beneath the guest room doorway. I had converted the second-floor suite into a close approximation of what Alex's apartment had looked like. It's where her furniture lived now. I suspected when I wasn't around, she spent a lot of time in there. I pushed the door open, finding her kneeling by the bed at the other end of the suite.
"Hey, handsome. I didn't hear you come in."
She tugged on the comforter before smoothing it out and standing up.
"I thought I should change the sheets."
She moved toward me, her hands sliding up my chest, past my shoulders, and making their way into my hair while she stood on her tiptoes to kiss me.
"You're home earlier than I expected."
I ducked my head and kissed her again. "I missed you. I've spent the last few hours thinking of nothing but you."
"Oh, really?"
Her fingers moved to my collar, playing with the already opened button before sliding lower and undoing the next few.
"What were you thinking?"
I knew her distraction tactics. She was hiding something. I wasn't sure what, but she was doing her best to make sure my attention was elsewhere. And damn if she wasn't good at that. "Guess." I tugged her closer, making her breath catch. She knew exactly what she did to me.
"I don't have to. I am a trained investigator."
She went for my belt buckle, and I grabbed her hand. "What's under the bed?" I asked, surprising her. She took a step back, her eyebrow quirked upward. I grinned, loving every time I threw her a little off balance.
"Nothing,"
she said. I searched her gorgeous blue eyes. She was hiding something. "Liar."
"Promise me you won't look?"
I rubbed circles against the back of her hand. "Are you hiding the pool boy?"
"You don't have a pool boy."
"Is that because you're hiding him?" A burst of laughter erupted, and she covered her mouth, embarrassed, which made my heart lighter.
"Yes, Martin, I'm hiding the pool boy under the bed. Now can we please eat dinner so we can move on to dessert?"
"Will the pool boy be joining us?" She gave me a look.
"How long are you going to keep that up?"
I made a show of looking down at my crotch. "That's up to you, sweetheart." She tried to glare, but it lost some of its effect on account of her amusement. It was nice to know I still had it.
"You're not funny. You know what I meant."
"If I'm not funny, why are you smiling?" I glanced back at the bed. "What's really under there?"
"None of your business."
"It's my Christmas present, isn't it?"
"Martin."
Her voice took on that warning tone. I held up my palms in surrender. "Fine, I won't peek."
"You better not."
"Scout's honor." She made a pff sound.
"You were never a scout."
She practically pushed me out of the room and pulled the door closed behind her.
"Stay out."
It was on the tip of my tongue to say it was my house, but even playing around, she wouldn't take it the way I intended, so I refrained from saying it. "Fine, but for the record, I have no interest in a pool boy."
"Good, because I don't want to share him."
She gave me a chaste peck.
"Do you want to get changed before dinner? Or would you rather jump straight to dessert?"
I hadn't eaten since lunch, but I'd gladly starve for this woman. However, I didn't want to subject her to the same fate. "Did you eat anything today?"
"What's today?"
she asked. "That settles it. We'll have dinner first."
"I brought home Thai. I wasn't expecting you home before midnight."
"It's only 8, I said.
"Which is why I couldn't sneak Eduardo out of here."
"Eduardo?"
"The pool boy."
She gave me an exasperated look.
"Keep up."
Oh, I intend to. Chapter 4. I woke up before my alarm, finding Alex draped across my chest. Gently, I brushed her hair away from her face. The only time she ever looked truly at peace was when she was asleep, and even that was a crapshoot half the time. It took every ounce of self-restraint not to wake her with promises of another round. But I wanted her to sleep. She was so beautiful, but she tried to hide it behind her snarky remarks and rough exterior. She'd lost a lot, and I wondered if that had anything to do with her hesitance to embrace the holidays. This time of year was difficult for a lot of people. After my mom passed, I spent years getting blackout drunk at holiday parties, including the ones I hosted. Thankfully, none of that ever came back to bite me in the ass. With one exception.
"You're doing it again,"
Alex whispered.
"You're watching me sleep?"
She stretched, pulling the sheet around her as she rolled off me and onto her back. Turning on her side, she studied me.
"What's wrong?"
Nothing.
"Now who's lying?"
I rolled onto my side to face her and scooted closer, missing the warmth of her body. She rarely asked the hard questions. Talking about things wasn't something she usually wanted to do, so I knew if I kissed her right now, she'd drop it, and we wouldn't speak of it again. But curiosity got the best of me. "What were the holidays like when you were a kid?" I asked.
"You mean before my adoptive parents disowned me?"
A bitterness crept into her voice which I hadn't heard before. Usually she was matter-of-fact on the topic. "Did they disown you?"
"Not exactly. I turned 18. They were no longer legally obligated to provide for me. Like I said, they covered my college tuition, but that was it."
"And you haven't heard from them since?" She shook her head.
"It's for the best."
How anyone could do that to her made me sick. If I ever met these assholes, I'd need to have a good criminal defense team on standby.
Holidays after that always sucked. I stayed on campus during winter break. It was quiet. It gave me time to get a jump on next semester's reading, and to make some extra money with seasonal jobs. Tuition was one thing, but books, housing, and food were something else entirely.
A flash of Alex dressed as a sexy elf, followed by an image of her dressed as sexy Mrs. Claus, played through my mind. Maybe lingerie wouldn't be a bad idea. Something in red velvet, with white faux fur trim. I could be the present she unwrapped. She shifted closer, pressing her forehead into my chest, and sliding her arm underneath mine so I would hug her. "What about when you were a kid?" I asked, afraid my prying would cause her more pain. "Did you do anything special?"
We went to see a professional production of The Nutcracker every year to encourage me to practice and guide my aspirations.
She sighed.
I hate that fucking ballet. That's all I really remember. The holidays were always torture.
They weren't supposed to be.
Tell that to O'Connell and Heathcliff. This is the busiest time of year for them. Domestic disturbances, suicide calls, overdoses, murders.
She pulled away so she could look at me.
This is the absolute worst time of the year.
I'm not saying it isn't hard for a lot of people, but there are some bright spots too.
You mean the giant blinking lights on every lamppost and building in the city?
So you have seen them. I kissed her forehead and smoothed her hair back, sliding lower in the bed so I could look her in the eye. This year is going to be different. We're going to start our own traditions. We'll have fun. I have something special planned for us.
We already have traditions.
We are not watching Die Hard on the couch while drinking hot chocolate again.
But I bought Kahlua, peppermint schnapps, and Baileys. That's 4 variations of hot chocolate, if we count the virgin concoction. I thought we'd make it a drinking game for every time he says yippee-ki-yay.
I laughed. Ella was right. I should have bought the damn liquor store.
What?
Never mind. When Mark comes over, we can drink hot chocolate and watch Die Hard. But you and I are going to do something different.
What?
It's a surprise.
You know I hate surprises.
Too bad. I gave her a kiss and climbed out of bed. I knew exactly what I was getting her for the holidays. Now, I just had to figure out how to pull it off. Chapter 5. I'd been distracted all through work. I wasn't sure how many meetings I'd attended since I couldn't remember what any of them were about. This had to stop. But all I could think about was the sad look in Alex's eyes this morning. I wanted to show her everything the holidays had to offer. Those damn TV movies had nothing on me. We didn't need to bake cookies or make ornaments or whatever shit they did in every single one of them. Instead, I was going to show her what it was like when I was a kid, before life got hard and we all became bitter and jaded.
I have a few preferred decorators that I use,
the party planner said.
Unless you have someone specific in mind.
Blinking, I flipped through the binder. Whoever you use is fine. The party isn't for me, it's for everyone who works here. As long as it's nice for them, I don't care.
We'll go with the classic winter themes. Snowflakes, lots of blue and silver.
The party planner made a few more notes.
Do you want a tree?
We have one in the lobby. That's more than sufficient. I flipped to another page. What about the catering? Can we do a few food trucks?
Absolutely.
He flipped to the vendor list.
The ones with the checks are already booked.
The list included everything from coffee trucks to dessert trucks and everything in between. There was even a soup truck. I made my selection, picking a cart with vegetarian and vegan options, another with basic American staples, and a specialty dessert and beverage truck. That should do it.
Excellent.
We shook hands, and I signed the contract. At least that was over. Now to focus on Alex's perfect gift. Marcal was waiting for me in front of the MT building. When he saw me coming, he got out and opened the back door.
Evening, sir. Are we headed home?
Not yet. I need to do some holiday prep. This morning, I figured out what I'm getting Alex.
This ought to be good.
I narrowed my eyes at him. It's a brilliant idea, but it could use some fine-tuning.
As is true of most of your ideas.
Hey! Marcal grinned.
What can I do to help?
I want to give her the perfect holiday experience. She's never done any of the normal holiday things, so I want to hit all the high points. We'll start with ice skating, followed by a carriage ride through the park to see the lights. After that, we'll have dinner somewhere romantic. Once we get home, I'll light a fire. We'll watch some holiday cartoons and snuggle on the couch. Afterward, we'll open presents. Actually, we'd be doing more than snuggling once I figured out where to put that bow, but Marcal already knew more about my sex life than he should, so I saw no need to provide additional details.
What about Die Hard?
He asked. That is not a holiday movie.
Miss Parker thinks it is.
Well, she's wrong.
Have you mentioned that to her?
I told her she can watch it with Mark the next day. I have better holiday movies planned.
Are they movies she'll actually want to watch?
Yes, I said indignantly. Don't you think I know what my girlfriend likes?
It didn't sound like you had any idea what she liked yesterday.
I stared at him. When did you get this salty? He chuckled.
Miss Parker must be rubbing off on me.
I can see that. I cracked a smile. For the record, this is all top secret. Under no uncertain terms are you to tell her about any of this.
My lips are sealed.
All right. I searched the various streaming apps to find a collection of cartoon holiday movies I watched as a kid. Everything from the original animated Grinch to Snoopy to the various renditions of A Christmas Carol and other favorites like Rudolph and Frosty. Since they were each around 20 minutes in length, I selected the top 6. But it'd be up to her how many we watched. It was her night. I didn't want her to get bored. Movies are covered, I announced. But that was the easy part.
Where are you taking her ice skating?
Marcal asked. The rink. I cocked an eyebrow. Where else would we go? That's the best place. It's the most picturesque. It's the perfect spot. I found the number and dialed, hoping there was still time to book a private event. Luckily, my name carried some weight, and with enough cajoling and offering to pay a premium, I was able to secure a 2-hour block for us to skate without interruption.
She's going to get cold and thirsty. Are the concession booths going to be open?
Actually, I have a better idea. Alex loves soup, and when I was figuring out the catering for the office party, I noticed there were a few food trucks that specialize in soup. I gave him the name of the associated restaurant. Let's swing by there so I can speak to the chef about renting his truck for the night.
You're going to rent a food truck just for Miss Parker?
I was thinking of renting 2, one for soup and another for coffee, tea, and hot cocoa.
Are you sure the concession carts won't be in service?
They might be, but I want gourmet selections.
You realize we're talking about Miss Parker. She's content eating snack cakes from a box.
She'll enjoy this. Plus, it's only soup. It should be enough to keep her warm through the skating and carriage ride, but not heavy enough to fill her up before dinner.
Wow, you really put some thought into this.
Of course. And I'll see about having the truck set up outside a homeless shelter afterward, to provide free meals and hot beverages to the unhoused. None of that should go to waste. It's a win-win-win.
Who's the third win?
Marcal asked. Me. He snorted.
You do like to win.
I always win. Chapter 6. After setting up everything with the chef at the restaurant for our private dining experience, and selecting 4 types of soups that the food truck would serve, we left the restaurant.
Now where to?
Marcal asked, waiting for me to give him our next destination before pulling into traffic. Movies, skating, and food have been handled. I'll book the carriage in the morning. That leaves buying her presents.
You mean the coffee cup?
Marcal pointed to a shopping bag on the floor beside me.
I already took care of it.
This is just one of many gifts. Let's hit up the lingerie store. Want to see what their holiday line looks like this year. If they don't have what I want, we'll check somewhere else.
Didn't you say something about lingerie being a gift for you rather than her?
Don't worry. She'll know it's for her. I added a red silk ribbon to my shopping list. After all, I'd need that bow. We were halfway there when another thought came to mind. After this stop, let's swing by the grocery store.
You're going to get those snack cakes I mentioned, aren't you?
No, I want to pick up some carrots, a few apples, and maybe some sugar cubes.
I did the grocery shopping yesterday. None of those things were on your list.
They aren't for us. They're gifts.
Gifts? For who?
The horses. Marcal turned in his seat to look at me.
What?
The horses. The ones that pull the carriage. I want to get some things for them. Horses like carrots, apples, and sugar cubes. I'll bring them with me so Alex can feed them and pet them.
Correct me if I'm wrong, sir.
Marcal used that tone, which told me he thought I was suffering a mental break from reality.
But when has Miss Parker ever shown an interest in horses? Or animals of any kind, for that matter?
She loves animals.
Since when?
Always.
How come I've never seen her near an animal? If she loves him so much, why don't you have any pets?
Have you met Alex? Half the time she forgets to feed herself. And with our work schedules, it wouldn't be feasible.
You could hire a dog walker or a pet sitter,
Marcal said. It wouldn't be fair to the animal, and given how insane our lives are, having another living thing in the house, wandering around at night, would scare her to death.
The animal or Miss Parker?
Probably both, but Alex will want to feed the horses, especially if they're going to be pulling us through the park. But he continued to look at me like I was crazy. Even if I'm wrong, it's no big deal. I'll keep a horse carrot and a couple of apples in my pocket. If we use them, great. If not, it's no big deal.
Don't you think that might give away your surprise? Miss Parker will notice a giant bulge in your pants.
There's always a giant bulge in my pants.
Not the size of a massive horse carrot.
You want to bet?
You've always been cocky,
Marcal quipped. That's precisely the point I'm making. A couple of apples and a giant carrot isn't any different from what I usually lug around. He double-parked outside the lingerie store.
I'll circle the block while you shop. Do us both a favor and keep the carrot commentary to a minimum. We passed a patrol car earlier. I'd hate to see them hauling you in for lewd comments and inappropriate behavior.
In case you have forgotten, I'm a perfect gentleman.
Until you open your mouth.
I won't be long, I said. Only my carrot is. Marcal didn't laugh, but it was funny. Alex would have laughed. Maybe. But I knew better than to try out my material on the saleswoman inside. I entered the shop, but they didn't have what I hoped for. I found something in red, see-through lace that looked fun, but most of the items were too practical for what I had in mind. But walking out empty-handed wasn't an option, so I purchased the red lace set, figuring I could save it for Valentine's Day, and waited outside for Marcal. He eyed the tiny bag.
Might I suggest we try one of the other shops?
You read my mind. The next place we stopped had a vast assortment of holiday-themed teddies. The strappy satin caught my eye. Seeing Alex in any of these would put even the biggest carrot to shame. We both had a thing for strappy nothings. At least I did, and she enjoyed making me happy, or she enjoyed how quickly I peeled the uncomfortable outfits off her.
These are inspired by our bondage line,
the sales clerk said, joining me at the rack.
I can show you some others if you'd like.
I wasn't looking for bondage, I said. Just something holiday-inspired. She gave me a sultry smile.
Role-play fantasies.
Considering I hadn't walked into a sex shop, I wasn't expecting these questions. Maybe I should have brought the carrot and apples with me. If that's what you want to call it, I just want to get my girlfriend into the spirit of the holidays.
I have the perfect thing.
She sifted through the hangers. Near the back, she pulled out a red satin teddy. The middle was cut out, making it look like a two-piece, but the top had been designed to resemble a red ribbon, tied into a perfect bow.
What size is she?
Small, I said. The clerk found one left on the rack.
It looks like you'll be having a very special holiday.
She eyed me up and down.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Do you gift wrap?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. I pulled out my credit card and handed it to her. While she wrapped the item, I searched the shops that sold more practical gifts. The evening's events and the lingerie would be part of our holiday merrymaking, but I still hadn't found an actual gift to give her. Since the entire night was supposed to be her present, a physical gift no longer carried as much weight or responsibility. The coffee cup would make a great stocking stuffer, but I wanted to get her something else. Something fun. Something she missed out on when she was a kid. I thought about the things I wanted as a child. A snowboard, building sets, robots, computers, games. Again, I thought about the video game system. But I was hesitant. Maybe an arcade game or pool table would be better. I had room for one near the lounge area beside the home gym.
Here's your card, sir.
The sales clerk handed it back along with the gift-wrapped box. Thank you. I returned to the car in a blur, got in the back seat, and stared out the windshield. What do little girls want for Christmas?
Should I notify the people on To Catch a Predator?
Marcal asked. I shook my head. You have daughters. What do they want for the holidays?
Mr. Martin, you've spoiled them enough.
It's not for them. I'd already picked out a few small items for his children and added money to the college funds I'd set up years ago, but Marcal didn't need to know that. I want to get Alex something she missed out on as a kid, but I don't know what she would have wanted. Kids now want tablets and video games, right?
And plush toys, games, and puzzles.
Alex loves puzzles. I pulled out my phone and did some quick online shopping. After finding several holiday-themed jigsaws with varying piece counts, I stuck them in my cart, added a plush penguin from the suggested items menu, and found a 2-player strategy board game to add to our already large collection. Then I found a new version of Monopoly and added that. Why the hell didn't I think of this before?
You had your head up your ass,
Marcal said. I narrowed my eyes at him. Salty. He chuckled. I made my purchases, selected pickup, and checked to see when the items would be available. I'm forwarding you the order information. They'll be ready for pickup tomorrow morning.
Shall I wrap them for you?
If you don't mind.
No, sir.
He snickered, seeing the relieved look on my face.
Is there anything else?
I think that's everything. I opened my list, scanning for anything I may have forgotten. Shit.
Now what?
The O'Connell's ugly sweater party. I need something to wear.
Is Miss Parker wearing an ugly sweater?
Nothing she wore was ugly, but my gut said she'd wear whatever was in the closet. That meant I had to be festive for both of us. Buying her something without permission would only make her dread the party more. I don't know. I did a quick search for men's items in nearby stores. The best thing I could find were a few holiday-themed blazers in red and white. It wasn't exactly a Santa suit, but I'd never seen a single sexy one that didn't belong to a male stripper, and while I had performed a lap dance or two on occasion, that would cheapen the holiday. Sexy elegance, that was my goal. Tomorrow, I said to Marcal, I need you to pick up a holiday blazer for me, the red velvet with the white patterns. I'll call and make sure they hold one for me. After you get it, take it to get tailored. My measurements are on file. See what you can do to get the tailor to put a rush on it. His usual turnaround time is 5 days. That's cutting it awfully close.
I'll see what I can do.
All right. Let's swing by the grocery store. And then we'll call it a night.